sexism is alive. Though we as Americans have come a really long way with gender equality, our expectations for women and men set in the early 20th century are still a problem and have still come up in several ways that they do today. Sexism, an Oxford definition, is a stereotyping or discrimination typically against women on the basis of sex. Sexism also goes hand in hand with sexual harassment and also just the putting women down in the workplace or in social settings. In the workplace, a survey done by Pew Research Center says about 4 in 10 women, and that's 42% of women, in the United States say they have been experiencing sexism in the workplace and have experienced some type of separation between the man and woman power line in the corporate world. And that research was done in 2017. That's fairly recent. And I can attest to that. I work in a fast food restaurant, and I get a lot of different people come through, a lot of different looking people, a lot of different sounding people. And the way I just get talked to by older men in general is disgusting. I was recently waiting on a man to give me his card, give me his money so that I can check him out for his food. And while he's trying to dig the money out of his pocket, he goes, "You should smile. You look a lot prettier if you smiled." And in my head, I was thinking, I didn't know I was trying to look pretty for you at work. My apologies. Just stuff like that said to me, and I wasn't frowning. I just had a straight face. I'm waiting. And he felt comfortable enough to say that to me. So obviously, that's not okay, and I did not deserve that. Another way that sexism is demonstrated is in street calling and or catcalling. A survey done by Stop Street Harassment Studies recovered that 81% of women and 43% of men reported some form of sexual harassment. Now, whether that's verbal or physical, it still goes under the sexual harassment category. And with catcalling or street calling, the defense for it is that, people will give you a compliment. If you're walking down the street and somebody goes, "Hey, nice rack, you should be a porn star," are you supposed to take that as a compliment just because they meant it as a compliment? It's just things like that. That there's a misunderstanding, obviously, between men and women or men and women or women and men, just simple things like that. I think that sexism is still alive today is because higher older men or higher older women are afraid of new generations of equality and equity. People are scared of rising groups that offer promises for a better future. One way I saw this a lot was in the USA World Cup, the USA soccer team, the female soccer team that won. They were very happy, obviously, and it's a huge win for the U.S., but in their national posts, you have comments, and they still had comments on the basis of they need to go in the kitchen, they all look like lesbians, things like that. So you can't even accept a win. It's a sport. There's also sexism in sports as well. Females who join the football team are perceived to be a certain way, if they can even join the football team, things of that nature. In conclusion, I believe that America has come a long way with equality and making it equal. But I think that if we don't give women the respect that they deserve or the respect of a basic human being, then we won't really get anywhere with any gender equality.